We're back with Captions on location on Star Street with the YouthBuild program, and Andre will have more a little bit on that particular program. We're here with Jerry Snyder, who's with the YouthBuild program. Jerry, tell us about some of the work that's being done at this house from the youth in the YouthBuild.
Well, we've removed the siding on 3 sides of the house and replaced it on both the east and west sides, and now we're finishing up here on the front, which is the south side of the house. And then we've painted the entire house. We've installed 5 new insulated windows in the house. We've got to redo the porch deck here on the front, and we should be finished in a couple of days, actually.
How many youth are involved with those activities on this house?
On this particular house, I have 7 students involved in it.
And what are some of the skills that they are learning?
Well, they're learning carpentry skills in the sense of trim as well as framing. If we have to fix something, we frame it back in. Trim skills because they're able to put in the siding and cut it and fit it. Also with the window trim, we have to cut and fit all new window trim around the outside of our new siding. And then also they're learning painting skills on this as well.
The youth that go through this program, they're learning on this, what do they take away once they complete the program?
Well, hopefully they take away a sense of accomplishment, first of all. And then secondly, they'll get a little bit of skill out in the field doing the work. And that little bit of experience maybe will tend to help them give it a little bit of an edge when they go out to look for a job somewhere. They know the tools, they'll know the types of materials being used, and they'll know some of the actual skills that they have to use to get that material installed. Well, the ones that have really stayed true to the whole program, both groups, I had 10 in the first group and 7 in this group, and of those 17 particular students out here in the field, I really don't have any complaints about any of them. They've had to learn, there's no question, as far as the ethic that's required out here in the field. It's not the same as they're used to every day, 8 hours a day, so it's a little bit different that way for them. But I think they found that when they're here the whole time and they see what they can accomplish, it just gives them a little bit more motivation to come back and do some more of them.
We're here with one of the participants in the YouthBuild program by the name of Robin Thompson. Robin, how was it that you were able to get into the program, and why did you come to this program?
How was it? I got into this I went to adult ed over on Moss Street. So it's like one of the YouthBuild people came to my school and started talking to us about it. And they said it'd be for a GED, and they helped us do like this type of work, like construction. And well, I'm almost done, like literally almost there. I got like 2 more tests to take and I'll be finished and everything, so yeah.
What high school did you go to?
Limestone, for about like half semester. Yeah.
Well, if you don't mind telling us, what were the issues that made you have to leave Limestone?
One of the reasons why I had to drop out is because, well, some of the teachers didn't like me, I guess, and I was late, but I did my work. I was just late a lot and everything, so yeah.
So then you decided to go back to the Adult Ed Center and get your GED, and that's how you found out about YouthBuild. What have you learned so far since being in the program?
Be on time and do this, do a lot of construction work and stuff like that, and doing drywall and stuff like that, yeah. And learned a lot more.
Is this something that you might consider for a career?
Construction? Yes, definitely. I like to do it. I like to do, work on high places, up high, inside buildings, like drywalling and stuff like that. I'm really good at it. It's like a motivation, and it's been better for me, and it's good. Like, if somebody else had another chance to do this again, I'd be like, go for it. Go right ahead. You'll have a lot of fun. It's great. It works. Motivation-wise, it motivates you a lot.
We're now here with Taylor West, another participant. As you can tell by her shirt, she's been busy with a paintbrush. Taylor, tell us a little bit about your background as far as how you came to be in the YouthBuild program.
Well, basically, like I was just like any other teen, dropped out of high school. So I decided that I didn't want to waste any more time, and I came across a good opportunity, which was the YouthBuild, and I just applied for it, and luckily I got in it. And now I'm just taking off from there.
How has it helped you so far, especially for the GED?
So far, it has helped me with mainly getting my scores up. So it's like I'm learning more than I did when I was in high school. So my average and my grades and stuff is getting above where it usually be. So it works out good.
Tell us about the skills that you're learning when it comes to working with houses.
The skills that I learned is mainly patience, and how you have to take your time with the paintbrush if you want to get things done right. Cause if you rush it, then it's just not going. It's gonna be a rush job. So it's best to do it patiently.
Is there any particular skill on working on a house that you like better than others?
I would have to say probably the paint, because the painting is just patience, and you just go with the flow with it. You just put the paint on there, and, go back and forth, and just have a good time with it.
Once you get your GED and you complete the program, what's your outlook after that? What is it you want to do after you complete the YouthBuild program?
Once I complete the YouthBuild program, I plan on going to ICC to study business management, and I see myself in the future with having my own business.
What kind of business?
I was thinking about retail. Only thing that I could really say about this program is that it's a good program and I will encourage anybody to, join it or apply for it. And if you get in, just run with it. Just get the education, and it's really a big help up on a resume too.
Well, welcome back. I think you've just seen some very interesting things going on in our community. You've seen some youth involved in some major activities in improving our community, as well as some interviews of some individuals who are involved in a program called YouthBuild. Sitting immediately to my left is Melissa Hahn, Keith Patterson, and Nicole Brooks, who are involved in that program. Welcome to CAPtions.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Well, Melissa, can you briefly describe what is the YouthBuild program?
Well, YouthBuild is a Department of Labor grant that was received by the City of Peoria Workforce Development Department.
Okay.
And we started back in 2009 taking applications for the program. The program consists of a GED component for those individuals who do not have a GED, as well as a construction component. So we are doing some hands-on classroom construction training, and as part of the program they also receive worksite experience.
Fantastic. Keith, what is your involvement with the YouthBuild program?
I'm currently a student.
Okay. So you're one of the youth that are actually involved in the program.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Recently was just doing some construction work. Now I'm taking classes to get my GED.
All right. I'm so glad that you have participated, and I'm going to come back and talk with you some more about that participation. And what about you, Nicole? What is your involvement with the program?
My involvement is I'm one of the GED instructors.
I see.
The GED component is the portion that I'm involved with.
Okay. What are the age ranges of the youth that you work with in this program?
Well, for YouthBuild, the participants that we serve are between the ages of 18 and 24.
18 and 24?
18 and 24.
Young adults, basically.
Yes.
Okay.
And we do focus on those individuals who do not have a GED, but we can take a few that already do have their GED or high school diploma if they need some literacy, numeracy improvements. We can assist them with that as well.
Well, personally, I think that is the ideal title, called YouthBuild, because as we saw a few minutes ago, the youth are building things in our community, and this is an experience in which we can also build our youth to be responsible, accountable young adults in terms of their place in giving back to the community. Am I correct?
Yes.
Well, that is fantastic. Keith, what are your thoughts or responses? Do you think that YouthBuild is or has been making a real difference in terms of your life and direction?
Oh yes, absolutely.
Okay.
It's really gave me a change of thought and views and outlooks on a community.
How long have you been involved with the program?
Since January.
Since this past January?
Yes.
Well, fantastic. And are you a Peoria native?
Yes, sir.
And where did you go to school?
I went to school at Woodruff.
At Woodruff, and you didn't finish, and now you're getting your GED?
Yes.
Well, I am so glad to hear that. As I tell people, learning isn't a destination, it's a journey. And it's never too late to get it, but the main thing is to get it. Nicole, you say you work as one of the instructors with the GED program?
Yes, and Jerry Snyder was also my co-instructor. Between the two of us, we tried to provide a teaching environment, a team teaching environment, so one instructor could be instructing the class on the subjects, and one would be available to help the students with any questions. A lot of the students have different needs.
Right.
Some of them have actually passed portions of the GED, and we wanted to make it available to help them individually, but also create a classroom environment where they could come in and feel like part of a group. So Jerry and I really tried to provide that kind of environment for the students to have.
How does the program work? Do they like meet every day or once a week, or is there a schedule that they have to follow, or how do you have your classes set up for the GED?
Well, they do have a schedule. They actually take the GED portion in the morning. So when we started in January, they would start about 8:45 in the morning, where they would kind of just do roll call, talk about what they were going to do for the day, and they would take the GED class from 8:45 to noon. They would have a lunch break from noon to 1, and then they would have construction in the afternoons from 1 to 3.
Wow.
And later in the program, we did divide the group. We had the group that Keith is part of, there were 28 participants in that group, and so they were divided for the construction part. So half went out on the construction site, half remained in the classroom with Nicole, and so they've had a little bit of a different schedule since then. On the construction site, they're actually out there working all day during the construction portion of the program.
Who works with you on the construction side? Do we have people from our labor community or unions or something that's helping these individuals on the construction site, or how does that portion
Yeah, well,
operate?
we've had some fantastic partnerships throughout the YouthBuild program, and which has really made it a success. We've been able to, for the construction part, we have partnered with Southside Mission and Hope Builders.
Great.
And so we have been assisting them on projects that they currently have going out. And Jerry, that was Nicole's co-teacher for a GED, also has a construction background. So he has been working with the students on the construction site as their instructor, as well as the work site supervisor.
How are these sites chosen, or what basically is it that you do in terms of construction? Is it like home repair? Is it new construction, or whatever? Can any of you kind of describe what it is that goes on the construction phase of it? Keith?
Yes, we do a lot of house and repair.
Okay.
We did some demolition. We recently helped remodel an auditorium that's soon to be a church.
Okay.
And like whatever the assignment is, we take it and renew it.
So in a sense, you're part of a community development effort or redevelopment in terms of helping those individuals or families or organizations that may be in need in terms of construction type work,
Yes, sir.
which benefits the community as well as benefits people like yourself and others to develop some real sellable and workable skills if you choose to go in that direction. But by getting a GED and the other kinds of changes that one goes through, you can go into any area of work. So it's not that you're limiting yourself, that you got to now stay in construction, but that at least is an area that while you're developing skills, you're using skills to help to develop the community. How long has this program been available here in the Peoria area?
Our first group started in January of 2010.
2010, last year.
Yes.
Okay.
And originally, with the grant, we had proposed that we would enroll 48 students.
48.
With
okay.
this grant, because it's only a 2-year grant. And fortunately, we've been able to, at this point, actually enroll 3 cohorts. Our first group, we had 19 students. Keith's group, we had 28, and we've also enrolled another group down there at the Tri-County Urban League.
Okay.
So they actually attend the GED classes at the Urban League, and then are provided the construction portion as well. So we've been able to actually have 65 students.
While the youth are involved in this program, are there any kind of stipends or any kind of money that's shared with them in terms of their being in the program?
Yes. While they're in attending the GED portion of the program, they do receive a stipend of up to $15 a day.
Okay.
Now, whether or not they receive that is based on their attendance,
Right.
whether they're in class. But they can receive $15 a day in stipend. Once they go out to the construction site, they actually receive an hourly wage, so they make $9 an hour during the time that they're actually out at the construction site. Yes.
Well, I tell you, that sounds like a fantastic program, and I assume if it's funded through the federal government, through workforce development, this is a national program?
Yes.
We would find it across the nation in other places, and
Yes.
not just limited to Peoria, is that correct?
Yes, that is correct. So there are youth builds all over the country.
In fact, workforce development serves multi-counties. Am I correct that there are a number of counties that workforce development includes? And I assume, can people in counties other than Peoria participate if there are some people that would qualify based on, what are their qualifications? Is there age? Is there an income? Is there both? Or what does a person need in order to just want to be a part of it? What do they have to do to qualify?
Well, with workforce, our local workforce area is Peoria, Stark, Marshall, and Woodford counties.
Okay.
But we have a resource center, in downtown Peoria, as well as we do have satellite offices in all of our counties.
Okay.
We also have a satellite office in Manual High School. And we are open to the public. So anyone that would want to come and utilize our services from any county can come to the resource center, find out what services we have to offer, and we will try to assist in any way that we can. Specifically for the YouthBuild program, there is a requirement, the age restriction. They do have to be between the ages of 18 and 24. There also are other guidelines that we look for. Really, this program is more looking at what we would consider more of your high risk or at-risk youth. So maybe low income. Do they need assistance, like I said earlier, with the skills upgrade? Do they need some assistance with that? So, have they been in the foster care system? So there are other factors that we look at, but mainly trying to service those who really need it the most in our community.
Is there a program length, like are you in YouthBuild for like 9 months, 10 months, or is it kind of open-ended, or what, a beginning and an end?
It's really, it's a 9 to 12 month program.
Okay.
They are in the GED portion for approximately about 26 weeks, where they're either in the GED or on the construction site doing the work experience. But we do provide assistance after that.
Okay.
So even beyond the point that they can no longer receive the stipend, we're still available. Even when the GED classes are over, if we still have some individuals that might need some additional help, Nicole and Jerry will be available, to provide the one-on-one tutoring if individuals need that. And then as always with, workforce in our office, we will continue to assist them if they need help finding employment, if they need assistance, with making a resume or, getting enrolled in post-secondary education. We will assist with that as well.
Okay, would you let our audience know at least where the city of Peoria or the Peoria County office is located?
Our main office is located downtown. We're located at 211 Fulton Street, Suite 300. It's in the One Technology building in downtown. And we're open Monday through Friday from 8:30 to 5.
And you are centrally located. And your facilities, to me, are outstanding. For the community that needs help and assistance, it's a place where if I was downhearted and needed help, just walking in that place would brighten my hopes and opportunities of success. And I'm quite certain that to the private sector that you work very closely with in terms of partners, I'm quite certain that they are quite impressed with the facility. And I've always been impressed with the staff that Bashir has brought on board and the dedication that each of you have shown to whatever your area of responsibility, whether it is youth or whether it's the elderly trying to get back into the workforce or people who've been laid off and that type of a thing. And I want to applaud you for being part of YouthBuild. And Keith, I really want to applaud you for taking that step to become a productive individual and a real man, as I call it, is a man that is a man. There's more to being a man than a certain age. There's more to being a man than having a whole lot of babies and so forth. It requires education. It requires sacrifice. It requires accountability. And I'm quite certain that all of those things are part of what you're receiving through this program that we have. Are you anticipating, with all of the budget problems, that this is a program that may either be sliced up or cut or eliminated, or are you optimistic that a program like this will probably still receive some funds for next year or whatever?
Well, we always try to remain optimistic.
Right.
So, as I said, with this initial grant we received, was a 2-year grant. It is coming to an end. So we will reapply, obviously, for the future. And so if anybody's interested in the program, they can always check on our website, which is workforcenetwork.com, or they can come to the Resource Center. But if they do have internet at home, it's just www.workforcenetwork.com, and they can go on there and find out what programs we do currently have and what's available. But as I said, we'll always remain optimistic that they will continue the funding for these programs that we definitely need in our community.
Well, I certainly would agree with that. Not only do we need to develop our youth through this program, individuals like Keith, but we also need to develop a lot of the areas that you're working on in terms of the construction type of activity. So as I said, it's a win-win situation. The community is winning by utilizing the services and the abilities and the skills of these young people, as well as they are also benefiting by building in terms of their building blocks of life. And 18 to 24 is a very critical age. And it's an age that's a little more responsible. We have sometimes youth opportunities for teens and that type of a thing, and we need that part too. And I know when I first came to Peoria in 1970, there was a program through the federal government called the Neighborhood Youth Corps, of which I was the director. We had over 800 youth involved in that program, which eventually was pared back to small numbers. We did not have in place at that time a program called YouthBuild, where we could work with individuals of 18 to 24, but I think that that's very important. And I would certainly hope that there are some people tonight who are watching it, or there are some individuals who are watching it that know someone between 18 and 24, and encourage them to make contact with you to see about their opportunity to participate. And Keith, I'm so glad particularly to see you here, and hopefully some of your friends from Woodruff or throughout the community will say, hey, that's Keith, and if he can do it, I can do it. Because you never know how much sometimes you're just being a part of something can encourage others. And it's good to be a part of something positive, because the same thing can happen if you're part of something negative in the community. That also influences, hey, I want to be one of them guys. And it's good to be on the right side in terms of being a part of YouthBuild than some of the things that unfortunately the newspaper likes to focus on. Have you received any news attention from like our Journal Star in terms of, well, I would certainly hope so, because I personally feel sometimes that our newspaper is always focusing on the negative side of what's going on in our community and among our youth. And I think we need to know that there are individuals who are making a difference through programs like yours, as well as many youth that are participating in things that are giving back to the community, as well as helping them to develop into real positive people. Is there anything else that you can think of that you want to add, either Keith or?
Just like to say that it's a great program.
Okay.
Amazing.
Well, I'm glad you said that, and I can tell by the enthusiasm of the two of you on staff, as well as Keith, your feelings of the program, that it will make a difference. And that's good to know that you either have jobs or you're in a program that's making a real difference in the lives of others and in the community in general. I guess I was down about a week or two ago to see Bashir Ali on something personal, and again I was amazed at your office facility and the breadth of your programs and things of that type. And although you came here specifically just to talk about YouthBuild, are there any other programs that either the two of you can think of that may be of some value for people to hear about in terms of services that are available to people, and particularly to youth? Because tonight's program, we're really trying to focus on youth and the various things going on. We talked with the Boys and Girls Club and some of the things they're doing. Are there any other things that you may want to mention outside of YouthBuild that you think would be of value for people to know that's available to them through the workforce development?
Well, you definitely can come to our office. As I said, we're open to the public. So we encourage that, anyone to come, just see what we have to offer. Our programs vary depending on, we do apply for a lot of different grants, and try to get as many as we can into our community to provide those services. And so really the best way is to either go to our website, which is workforcenetwork.com, or come to our office. We do have other youth programs. We have the YES program, which is a youth employment program for 16 to 24-year-olds. We also do receive funding under the Workforce Investment Act for adults, dislocated workers, and youth as well. So we definitely encourage anyone in the community that would be interested to come to our office and take a look, take a tour, and see if we can assist them.
And I would say, with the economy being what it is, with the unemployment level being as high as it is, and there are many people who have never even had an opportunity to become employed, to become unemployed, this is an agency that, in a sense, can assist people in so many ways. And I want to again thank the three of you for stopping by and sharing the story of YouthBuild, and I want to wish you well in the future. And Keith, I want to wish you well. And for those of you who are watching tonight, I hope you've heard something that will stimulate you, to motivate you, to get involved, to share whatever skills you may have in our previous part of our program, or to become a part of a program called YouthBuild, or the many other services that are provided through the workforce development. This is Andre Bohannon, thanking you again for being a part of CAPtions. God bless you and good night.